Welcome to the update. I'm Eleanor Quirk. Inflation has seen its smallest annual increase in 2 years, bolstering the case for an interest rate pause at the Reserve Bank's first meeting of the year. The Consumer Price Index rose 4.3% in the 12 months to November. Treasurer Jim Chalmers says it is a positive sign, but there is still work to do.
There are no shortage of challenges in the Australian economy or indeed the global economy. We know that inflation is still the defining challenge in our economy, and that's why dealing with these cost of living pressures is still the Albanese government's number one priority.
Supermarket giants are facing tougher penalties for hiking prices. Former Labor MP Craig Emerson's been named as the head of a review into the Food and Grocery Code of Conduct. The inquiry will examine whether farm prices are being passed on to customers. The Climate Council's renewing calls for urgent action after 2023 was confirmed as the hottest year on record. Data from Europe's Climate Change Service shows global temperatures increased by 1.48 degrees last year. Research Director Dr. Simon Bradshaw says with 2024 tipped to be worse, now is the time to act.
Every smart decision at this point matters. The faster we move beyond fossil fuels to a prosperous, clean energy future, the safer and more prosperous a future we're going to have for Australians and communities worldwide.
And Australia's first psychedelic therapy clinic is a step closer to opening after receiving approval from the Ethics Board. When given the green light, the clinic will administer MDMA or magic mushrooms in a controlled environment to treat conditions including depression and PTSD. Sport and entertainment are next. To sport, and selectors have confirmed Steve Smith will open the batting for Australia after David Warner's retirement from Test cricket. Cameron Green comes into the 11 to fill the vacant spot and will bat at 4. Chairman of selectors George Bailey says they felt they had to find a spot for the 24-year-old all-rounder.
Our regard in which we hold Cameron, and I think the way the rest of that batting order is functioning, left us feeling like that we have someone who we think is pretty talented, who potentially was going to find it hard to get any Test cricket in the next period, 12 months or so.
To entertainment, and social media has gone into overdrive with theories about what Emily Blunt and husband John Krasinski were chatting about on the Golden Globes red carpet, with many lip readers claiming he mentioned divorce. And Tom Cruise has signed a brand new deal with Warner Brothers to develop and produce new movies. There'll be a mix of original productions and franchises starring the 61-year-old. And that's the latest from the Nova podcast team. We'll see you again soon for another episode of The Update.